All right, so I might trade in the PM session after news. I think we got something at 12. Let me just check here. But this is the reality of trading is that, hold up, Forex. Dude, why is this not working? Forex Factory. So we got news so we had the 10 a.m. news today that's already passed, and we have red folder Fed Chair Powell speaks 12:10. So market's probably not going to do much till then. But yeah, dude, the reality of trading is just some days you just don't have a trade, and that was kind of today. Going into the day, I was kind of loose bias. I was kind of bearish, wanting to see this. I wanted to see this low get taken. But so I was kind of bearish because we've been slowly selling off. But at the same time, I kind of recognized that I didn't want to even take a trade until this high or this low was taken, because otherwise it's just chop on the higher time frame. It's just kind of sideways price. We're in the middle of a bearish imbalance. We've just swept liquidity over here. We've swept these lows here, so I'll mark that out. We've just swept this low and this imbalance, so we don't really have any crazy obvious targets to the downside besides here. But I would need to see a lot more structure. Maybe rebalance price here. We hadn't rebalanced yet. We hadn't rebalanced the equilibrium yet, which lies right above the buy side. So I had a loose bias, and I knew that anything would be lower probability until we took this lower high. So I was just kind of like, there's news at 10. I don't really want to take anything before 10 for sure, and let's just see what happens. So we start the morning, and this is 9:30 open. So we were selling off, so it's like, cool, we'll probably see this. And then we just make a little move up, but still I don't really want to touch anything till 10. So 9:50. So at this point, we had this 15-minute imbalance right here that we could reject or maybe disrespect, and then I'd get a bias off of that. So 15-minute bearish. So yeah, I was kind of like, cool. We have these kind of relative equal highs here now. Like, wait for 10, and 10 o'clock the news comes out. We take this high, and then we continue to rip through this high. So I'm like, okay, let's see what happens here. Do we get some type of manipulation? Do we move back down? Like, what is going to happen? Is there any trade? At this point, I just got to wait for more structure, and then it just continues. Comes back down. Barely taps this 5-minute for value gap. And then we make this 2-minute bearish that we do inverse. But for me, this trade, I saw Dodgy took it. I saw his Instagram. I don't trade in any Discords or anything. I saw he took this trade here where he just went long on this inversion, because this is kind of a data high. So he just went long and would go to break even when this guy hit, and probably just risk that and then just target it higher. So he would have got a quick to break even, broke it on the 1 minute as well. And then he just got a nice lot of points just from taking a little scalp like that. And I understand kind of why he takes it, is because there's equal highs here. It's kind of like a data high. You can get it pretty much. You're going to get guaranteed break even, because you're not just going to pump up and then leave these highs. But for me, it's just like, that's not really a high quality sub for me. I'm trying to build conviction with taking really good trades and high quality trades. So for me, that's more of just trying to make money, or at least if I was taking it, I don't really think I have the experience to try and take that trade specifically. And I wasn't even really thinking about it, to be honest. I was waiting to see this maybe reject, start seeing a sell off again, and then look for maybe potential shorts later. But yeah, dude, I mean, that's really it. Because then the rest of the day, if we look at where we're at now, I mean, it has just looked awful. Just move up, slight move down, move up, chop, 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 move up, push higher, chop, 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 push up higher, sell a little bit. Maybe we're gonna start seeing a little sell off again, push higher, sell, probably gonna push higher, and who knows? Now at this point, we need to just wait for more liquidity to be generated, wait for more structure, and that's the reality of trading. And it sucks because, especially when I first started, it was hard to like, especially when you see a big move, because you think about when you first start, you're like, oh, that's 100 points, 200 points, like that's how $2 per point for micros, $20 per point for a full contract, and you just start thinking about the money you could have made or that you didn't make, and then you just start worrying about, oh, there's no trade, like maybe I short this fair value gap here, or maybe after this high gets taken I can short, maybe if we go below this low then I can look for a fair value gap to play the downside, and but it's just, you got to realize when is a good time to trade and when you just don't have any setup coming to you. For example, like we had news at 10, so you probably don't want to trade till 10, and then after 10 it just pumped up here and there's no setup, so you just don't have a trade, and that's fine. And the reality with trading, and what I need to continuously get good at, is knowing when and when not to place a trade, and what days are going to be good and what days are going to be bad. And today was a day that I shouldn't have had a trade, and I didn't have a trade, and that's just improving. I mean, this last few days have been kind of rough. I mean, like we had just crazy price action. Like this was the open the other day on Monday. Open just ripped and then dumped. Should have been bearish here because we had a big SMT. So there's actually structure that validated it. We come into this value gap and then we inverse something, whatever. But I could have been bearish here. I wasn't. Cool. I could have been bearish on this one. Wasn't bearish. All right. But big move up, big move down, pretty aggressive. That was that day. And then the other day we had, let's see, Tuesday. And then yesterday we just had a sell-off starting before open. And then a little continuation after. And then we did catch a trade. And we caught this trade here. And we took this high. So that was even a really good trade. It just sucked that we lost beforehand. But the market's been just pretty tough the last 2 days. And you just got to realize it's about preserving your capital and your funded accounts, and not just trying to place a trade every day. Because if I got one trade in the week and it made me 10K, do I need to take any other trades? Not necessarily. So you just got to know when to take good trades. And for me personally, reflecting on today, my biggest struggle is I want to pass a funded account so bad that every day that I don't take a trade feels like another day I have to wait to pass my funded. And that's just not really the case because I know if I take only high quality setups and I take good trades and I hold to take profit, then I'll pass it way easier than if I force trades, try and look for opportunities that are not there. And that's really just what happens a lot of the time for new traders, and especially myself even before. Is like I would see this and then I'm looking for any reason to go short. Like I would be looking for, if we make a fair value gap here and then it retraces, I'll be looking for a short because it's like, oh, it has to come down. It's like, no, the market doesn't have to do anything. Just let it consolidate, let it chop, let it build structure, and then come back maybe later, maybe at 1:30 after the news, after that, and then maybe we're in a spot that you can look for shorts or longs and build structure. Because right now we're just you have no edge. I mean, some people might, but if you don't have an edge, don't force a trade. Is guess what I'm trying to say. So yeah, keep it short today because there's really not much to talk about. I mean, it's a pretty boring day, but that's the reality. Is some days are gonna be very, very boring when you're trading, and you just gotta get used to that. You can't worry about not making money because, like, I trade 5 micros, so my biggest trade I've had in a long time was like $400, and that was yesterday. But I know that if I trade that same trade of 5 full contracts, that'll be $4,000. So I don't have to worry about the fact that I didn't make money today, because if I was trading bigger size, then one day it would pay for the whole week. So why would I want to, take trades that I might be more likely to lose on? And that's just how it goes. So again, keeping it short. That's all I really saw today. I'll make another one of these if I take a trade in the PM, or I might do like a charting session reviewing the whole market after the day if I don't come back. So, yep, that's it. Boring days in trading. Got to learn how to deal with it.